Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
That's a great way to start the video, saying goodbye. Okay, here we have it. This is the nose gear assembly. This is not final form, by the by. This is mock-up, test up, prototype up kind of thing. So there is a brace. That brace will be on there. Something like that. Anyway, that'll be riveted in. And that's just going to help keep the jiggle jaggles out of there. These tails will obviously be cut. This will be gone, and this will be gone, and these swages will be crimped. We just haven't had time to do that. These rudder bungees will not be here. They will be somewhere else, just because I don't want them so close. Although, really, I don't know if it will interfere at all. I'll do some testing and see. These bolts, way too long. They'll be shortened. But this is proof of concept. We have the forks down here, and the axle will go through there, and the wheel will sit here. I guess I could show you that. And that's not the right axle. That's just the bolt. But there's some axling needs to be going on there to make that all work. But that's what it's going to sort of look like eventually. And as you can see, it matches the other tires a little bit more. When I push this rudder pedal, I want the plane to go this way, and so I want the wheel to turn that way. So when I push this doesn't do anything because this is all cables and you can only pull cables, you can't push them. So when I do this though, because the rudder is connected to this pedal, when I push this one, this pedal moves backwards. And when it moves backwards, it pulls on that and it makes that wheel turn that way, and vice versa. And that's a good amount of steering. I mean, that's 45 degrees, maybe a little bit more. So there you go, nose wheel steering and a bit of suspension. Now it's not much for suspension, but it's something. It's just a couple of big heavy duty springs inside of here, and it just kind of, the two tubes collapse on each other. But it's something, and it will help, you know, maybe protect the upper parts here from shock and damage and stuff if I smack down a little bit too hard, or a student does, or whatever. But it's just a standard mountain bike bearing system here, and that's this tube with the races and stuff not even permanently attached. The tube's attached, but the races aren't, and neither are the bearings inside. And so in a pinch, if this were to be damaged, I can just loosen this off, pull this out, and drop the fork right out and put a new fork in if I have to. I wouldn't even have to take the pod off. I could probably do all that with the pod in place. So obviously this will have to come apart for the pod to go on anyway, and then the tube will just, the fork will slide up into the tube, and inside I'll crawl in and tighten everything up. So anyway, I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. It's, you know, the original design calls for the cable to go from about here forward to pulleys. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, it goes the other way. It goes from about here back to a pulley here, and then forward through the pod and attaches to the fork and pulls on the fork itself. Well, I didn't like the idea of drilling more holes in the pod. I just got it all fixed. So I'm going to just have one little hole for the fork to go through, and the rest of the steering takes place up inside, so no extra holes in the pod. That's kind of the goal and the way I wanted it to go, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. So that is nose wheel steering. Oops, so I knock over the drill. Nose wheel steering and a little bit of suspension. And as you can see, the wheel is back behind the axle, or back behind the fork, so I'm going to get a little bit of castering action there too. It's going to kind of help keep the wheel straight as I'm rolling down the runway, maybe. I don't know how much castering action will be there. It's only about an inch and a half, but whatever. Take what I can get. Oh, also, I should put these on. Also, this brace goes in here, and there's an identical one on the other side, and that brace will distribute any backwards shock force on the fork, instead of twisting this whole front end, instead of that twisting, it will distribute that load or redirect that force from the back of the tube here back along and put the pressure in this way instead of rotating the whole thing sort of up like that. So again, to help prevent damaging this and that in the future. So yeah, it's gonna be all braced up and I think it's gonna be strong enough. So anyway, let me know what you think. Comment, questions, snide remarks, whatever you feel like you're interested in putting down in the comments, feel free. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. I try to reply to everybody, even if it's just thanks for commenting, just because, you know, I like to interact with you guys. So subscribe if you haven't yet, because this isn't the end. There's more of this, and if you go back through my backlog, I've got 300-ish videos. Lots of flying stuff, some shooting stuff, some off-road adventure stuff, so go check that stuff out if you're bored. Also, I just hit 100,000 views on my flight to 10,000 feet. That's my airplane symbol, apparently. Yeah, I went to 10,000 feet in this thing, and 100,000 views on that video, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching. There's how she looks now, and soon she'll be all back together. That was sort of the last big hurdle. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Everybody does that little thing. I don't know, I gotta come up with something different. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.